first I just wanted to thank you guys for coming out to the Balanced Band Scholarship. My name is Hunter Kuiper. I was the chairman of the scholarship this year. I really appreciate you guys all coming out. And first we're just going to start off with dinner. So if the families of the finalists want to go up first, please go up there and eat. All right.
First. I am Brian Breitholtz. I am the Assistant Vice President for Alumni Relations at Cleveland State University, and I also serve as the chapter advisor for SigEp. This is my 32nd consecutive year of advising a chapter or a Greek community. Yes, Paul says wow, and so think about that. With Greek life, every year is like a dog year, so it's now 244 years of this. But I am so glad to be here this evening amongst so many brothers, advisors, scholarship applicants, and parents. When I was first approached by Hunter to speak, he asked me if I could speak for 40 or 50 minutes. That was my response as well. I said, there's just no way. I need at least an hour. But seriously, I think this event, first of all, this is just a wonderful event. And I want to give a shout out and a round of applause to Hunter for all of his hard work with this. I also want to ask all of our scholarship finalists to please stand and be welcomed. All of our scholarship finalists. On behalf of the advisory board, we want to congratulate you. Whether you consider SigEp as an option or not, we are honored to have you here this evening and are thankful for you being part of this process. We are also joined by a number of other folks who I want to give a quick shout out to. One is not here, Dave Hewitt. Though knowing Dave Hewitt, he is here somehow, but he is not physically here, but Dave is a tremendous supporter of this chapter, along with, I see in the back, whose back is to me, is Bill Schutte, our ABC president. Welcome, Bill. I also want to welcome from the national headquarters, Jimmy Miller. Welcome, Jimmy. And lastly, we have a number of alumni in the room here, and I'd like to ask our alumni to please stand and be welcomed also. Yeah. Those who are, three of the ones who were standing were former chapter presidents that I had the pleasure of working most closely with. Parker still holds a grudge. I didn't take him to lunch every week, but I love you, Parker. Okay, so we're going to start with a quiz. This is a quiz. So if you have a piece of paper, terrific. If not, I need you to take mental notes, okay? List the 5 wealthiest people in the world. 1. 2. Name the last 5 Heisman Trophy winners. 3. Name the last 5 winners of the Miss America contest. Don't say Parker. 4. Name people who have won the Nobel or Pulitzer Prize. Name 10 people who have won the Nobel or Pulitzer Prize. Next, name the last half dozen Academy Award winners for Best Actor and Actress. Last, name the last decade's worth of World Series winners. So how'd you do? Who got 100%? Yeah, right. Okay. The point is, none of us remember the headliners of yesterday. These, however, are no second-rate people. They're all tremendously accomplished folks in their fields. But when the applause dies, the awards tarnish, achievements are forgotten, accolades and certificates are buried with their owners. So here's another quiz, and see how you do on this one. List a few teachers who aided you in your journey through high school. Name 3 friends who helped you through a difficult time. Name 5 people who taught you something worthwhile. Think of a few people who made you feel appreciated. Think of 5 people you enjoy spending time with. And lastly, name some heroes whose stories have inspired you. So how did you do? This one was a little easier, wasn't it? The lesson, people who make a difference in your life are not the ones with the most credentials, the most money, or the most awards. They are the ones who care the most. So our chapter at Cleveland State has won a lot of awards from CSU and from the national headquarters. Even if you look over on that table, you will see a number of them. And we are very proud of the chapter's achievements. But we're most proud of the brothers and the impact they have on one another and on Cleveland State. We're proud of our relationships. We're proud of each other. We're proud of brotherly love. Yet we know the moment we stop stretching, we stop reaching, stop aspiring, and start settling, and stop expecting the highest principles of each other will be our decline. If we're not moving forward, we're sliding backwards. So in preparing these remarks, I did what any good researcher would do. I Googled fraternity. And what do you think my results were? First of all, 81 million records under the word fraternity. So I thought, okay, this is a little much. Let me type in the words good fraternity. Well, it was reduced in half to 41 million. So then when I typed in the news section, it was quite interesting what I saw. And regrettably, none of it was good. And we were actually talking at my dinner table about, the movies that have been made about Greek life and the headlines, None of them really portray it as being good, that it is. At SigEp, we say we are different. We aspire to be different. But what exactly does that mean? Anyone in the room, what does it mean to be different? This is the audience participation part of the program.
Challenge the status quo.
Challenge the status quo, very good. Someone else. When we say we're different, what does that mean? We don't pledge our haze. Good. Thanks, Tim.
We believe in continuous development.
Continuous development, great. We have a mother here.
You accept each other for who you are.
We accept each other for who we are, excellent. Those are all things as to why we're different. We've chartered new courses. Our Balanced Man program is a whole different philosophy on continuous education, on personal development, personal enrichment. But in some ways, I regret that we say we're different. Because wouldn't it be great if every fraternity aspired to be what we aspire to be? That quote, a rising tide lifts all ships. And I think SigEp has that ability. Whether we like it or not, we're all painted with the same brush. Faculty members can't tell the difference between SigEp, Sigma Chi, Delta Zeta. It's all those Greek letters. People can't tell the difference. And if you don't believe me, ask one of your faculty members. So my point is we must continue to be our best, the best we can be, live up to the principles that we espouse, but also challenge other Greeks to get up their game as well. I had a former dean of students who used to use the quote often, and sticks to me. What you do speaks so loudly, I can hardly hear what you say. What you do speaks so loudly, I can hardly hear what you say. So with SigEp, when we say we're different, this fraternity will be different, we need to demonstrate what that means. I'm very proud to support SigEp, and I'm proud of who we are, but I'm most proud in what I believe we can continue to be. This year, 50,000 Ohioans will graduate from public schools. Think about that, 50,000 Ohioans will graduate. What will they have in common? Ready? Diploma, very good. They all want a job, yes. Some are going to grad school, but the majority want a job. Yeah, they all have a GPA, they have GPAs, and they have degrees, right? They have that in common. So I want to ask you, if I was an employer, why should I hire you? And ask yourself that question, what's going to make you stand out? Think about that. What's going to make you stand out? So you are captains of your experience, whether you are a senior or whether you are a freshman, whether you are a SigEp or not. What's going to help you stand out? And I'm going to say, be engaged. Be engaged, and Cleveland State provides many opportunities. Study after study shows that engaged students have better experiences in college, achieve higher grades, and graduate at higher rates than non-engaged students. But take it a step further. Engage with SigEp, if you're a SigEp. Take on a committee, be a part of a committee. Run for an executive position. Serve as a chapter leader. If you take these steps, you will clearly have something to say that will help you stand out. And trust me, you will develop as a leader and as a better person from these experiences. It's never too late to think about how you maximize your Cleveland State experience. And in doing so, again, you will grow as a person and contribute in society. A week ago, there was joyous residence in the Bahamas. Today, after Hurricane Dorian, countless lives have been lost. 70,000 residents are now without their homes, and all their personal belongings are gone. Like overnight, their lives completely change. Many have lost their loved ones. They have nothing on but the clothes on their backs, and most of them have been wearing those for 5 or 6 days at this point. Just like that, with the snap of a finger, their lives have changed forever. And I encourage you to think about ways you can support these people going forward. Because I know this morning I was frankly disappointed when I was watching the TV news shows this morning, and there wasn't even coverage of it. It was all politics and Sharpiegate and this and that. I mean, it's just crazy. I just thought we have lost our sense of priority. So I'm going to put it out there. I hope everyone figures out ways, because this is going to take years for those folks to get their lives back. So I put that challenge out to the chapter and to those of our friends and guests to think about what can we do moving forward to help those people. This past couple of years, I lost 3 fraternity brothers. And even though the students might think so, I'm really not that old. But 3 of my fraternity brothers died. One had a heart attack, massive heart attack. One was a drug overdose, and one died of colon cancer. And I think about these because, again, they all went very quickly. My fraternity brother with colon cancer, I visited in the hospital at one point. He wanted me to bring him a bagel. I brought him a bagel. And he looked fine, a little down. And then a month later, I received the call to go to hospice. He was dying. in a month. And I went to hospice. The guy who was in his 40s looked like he was 90. It just was incredible, and only had a couple of days to live. So again, I share this along with the example of the Bahamas about don't take things for granted. Don't put off the plans. Try as hard as possible to live your life intentionally and take advantage of each day. I came across a quote that I think captured it well. It goes, "It must be borne in mind that the tragedy in life doesn't lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy lies in having no goal to reach." It isn't a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled, but it's a calamity not to dream. It's not a disaster to be unable to capture your ideal, but it is a disaster to have no ideal to capture. It's not a disgrace to reach to the stars, but it is a disgrace to have no stars to reach for. Not failure, but low aim is the sin. Not failure, but low aim is the sin. I encourage all of us, SigEps, guests, etc., to really think about aiming high as we leave this program this evening and begin a new day tomorrow. Don't allow fear to paralyze you. And it often does. We're afraid, so we don't take action. You failed many times in life, although you might not remember. You fell down the first time you tried to walk. You almost drowned the first time you tried to swim. Did you hit the ball the first time you swung a bat? Heavy hitters, the ones who hit the most home runs, also strike out a lot. R.H. Macy, the founder of Macy's, failed 7 times before Macy's caught on. English novelist John Kreese got 753 rejection slips before he published 564 books. Babe Ruth struck out 1,333 times, but he also hit 714 home runs. So don't worry about failure. Worry about the chances you'll miss when you don't even try. Remember, aim high. Thank you.
All right. Ryan kind of already talked about it, but this is who we are. SigEp believes that the stereotypical fraternity experience does not fulfill the needs of today's college man. We complement men's education by delivering a premier student experience in one of the most formative times in his life. Through SigEp, men strengthen their character, build leadership and interpersonal skills, learn to develop healthy, lifelong relationships that are essential to successful and fulfilling life. Our mission is building balanced men. But tonight, we're all about awarding balanced men. Tonight, we are awarding our finalists for 3 key aspects. They exemplify the qualities of both a sound mind and a sound body, for being a leader both in and outside the classroom, and maintaining a 3.0 GPA or higher. And without further ado, our finalists. Our first finalist tonight is DeAndre Patrick. Oh, sorry, please come up once I say your name. He graduated high school at Cornerstone Christian Academy, and he plays piano and is learning to play guitar. Congratulations. Our next recipient is Jameson Schroeder. Jameson is majoring in general business. He graduated from Midview High School, and he started the first high school Best Buddies Club in all of Northeast Ohio. Congratulations. Our next recipient is Jonathan. John is majoring in business and he graduated from Charles S. Brush High School. and his friends made him a makeshift Oscar for his portrayal as Rooster in their school production of Annie. Congratulations. Our next recipient is Louis Folks Jr. Louis is currently undecided. He graduated from Olmsted Falls High School, and he once drove from Cleveland to Seattle in just 36 hours. Our next recipient is Vince Jordan. Vince Jordan is majoring in marketing. He graduated from Strongsville High School, and he was born missing two bones in his jaw. Our next recipient is Late Al-Tamimi. He is pursuing a health science pre-dental degree. He graduated from North Olmsted High School, and he is a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo and has been teaching Taekwondo for almost 2 years now. Congratulations. Our next recipient is Xander Saunders. Unfortunately, Xander couldn't make it tonight due to an emergency, but he is pursuing a degree in theater arts. He graduated from Learfield High School, and his favorite president is Teddy Roosevelt. And our final finalist of the night is Brian Ash. Engineering. He graduated from Lakeview High School, and he hopes to one day have a part-time career in music, or at least a hobby. One final round for all of our finalists. You guys can be seated. Next, I would like to ask our chapter president, Nicholas Corda, to the stand.
Thank you, Hunter. Real quick before we begin, I just want to make a brief announcement. We had someone in the crowd ask if they could take home a pie. Yes, Parker, you could take a pie home. Anyway, now that we have that squared away, good evening, everyone. My name is Nick Corda. I am the chapter president of this fine institution. I apologize that I didn't get the chance to meet many of you beforehand. I was too busy writing this speech. Sorry about that. But if you guys stick around after, I'd love to meet all of you and talk to you. Tonight I play a minor role in the ceremonies, but I present a major recognition, and that's bars. Every year during Greek Week, each Greek organization has the opportunity to recognize an individual who has a great impact on their specific chapter. This prestigious honor is known as the Apple Polishing Award, an award that is coveted by many, but retained by few. For Ohio New, we are fortunate enough to have an array of individuals to nominate from, so that makes our decision even harder. The chapter had a long, thought-provoking discussion and reached a candidate after several rounds of voting. We had the opportunity to present this award at Greek Awards last spring, but the recipient was unable to make it. So we chose tonight to honor this individual. Our Apple Polishing Award recipient is a chapter alum who has been instrumental in rechartering SigEp on CSU's campus. As a chapter president in the very early 1900s, this man developed a passion for fraternity life that has carried through his efforts with undergrads today. Our brother has done nothing but care for this Ohio New chapter, which provokes a story. A few years ago, this brother was cleaning his gutters on a ladder when he fell 2 stories to the ground. This incident put him in critical condition as he sustained several severe injuries. He was admitted into the hospital where family and friends waited anxiously to see him. The first question that he asked when he returned to stable condition was, "How's the chapter? How are the brothers doing?" He had just experienced a life-threatening situation and all he cared about was SigEp. That story speaks tremendously to the passion and virtue that this brother brings. This is why we voted him as our Apple Polishing Award recipient. Funny story, he is actually in Europe right now, so he missed the second presentation for him. Luckily, we are recording this tonight, so Dave, you made it, buddy. Congrats all the way from the States. Anyway, it is my great honor to recognize Brother Dave Hewitt as our 2019 Apple Polishing Award recipient. Hunter, where's Hunter?
I just want to thank all you guys. This went very well. I want to thank all the alumni for coming out. I want to thank Brian for speaking. Thank all the applicants for being here. I hope the food was good. I hope everything went well. And everyone, have a good night. Let's give it a